Hey guys, this is Todd Gaines coming at you with another movie review. Today I'm going to review Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi, the latest Star Wars movie I just got back from seeing at the movies. I haven't gotten into the Star Wars hype this time around. I think I just have a lot of other stuff going on. I had a big birthday just a little while back, just the holiday season, and just the Star Wars movie kind of just creeped up on me. I'm definitely more excited to see The Disaster Artist than I was Star Wars, but I wanted to go ahead and see Star Wars today because just like every other Star Wars movie since I've been old enough to go to the movies, I've seen at the movies. So this is a Rian Johnson's directorial effort in the Star Wars saga. I noticed right off the bat some tonal and pacing issues, and and it's just I was like, well, what's going on? It's like something just felt off to me. 1 second there's this weird humor, and then just right in the next part there's a just like seriousness, and I kept seeing characters come into the picture that I thought that hey, this person might be somebody, only to just disappear in the chaos that the first act is. I think the first act is very sloppy, and I wouldn't say I was bored. I was just maybe just a little confused because we had so much stuff going on. And the reason why there's so much stuff going on is because we have three key stories all competing for our attention. Story one, guys. It's the triangle between Luke, Rey, and Ren. Oh boy, this is what we this is what all us have been waiting for, is the emergence of Luke Skywalker to potentially save the day, and for us to also learn more about the mysterious Rey as she's, as you know in the last film, goes to Luke, begging for, help to get trained up as a Jedi, and Luke just kind of looks at her. And I want to start with talking about Luke. Something was off with Mark Hamill in this movie. I've heard that Rian Johnson had a vision for the Luke Skywalker character, and Mark Hamill was, not too thrilled with it. But he said, I'm just going to do what I got to do because I'm an actor and that's what you pay me to do. But at times, I really felt that Mark Hamill was acting as Mark Hamill and not Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. It was like an old, bitter, crusty man, and it was more of just a parody for me. I was left a little disappointed for the most part with Luke Skywalker, and I never thought I'd say that in a Star Wars movie. And you guys, you gotta remember, I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan. I just like, but I've grown up with it. I also like Star Trek. I mean, I'm just like an equal opportunity movie liker. So I don't really have a personal favorite, but I have enjoyed watching this series evolve over the years. Okay, Kylo Ren. I trash Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens. I mean, I thought he was emo as hell. He got on my nerves. He was he was just a brat. But in The Last Jedi, his character does evolve to basically a pretty badass dude. And I must say that I really enjoyed Adam Driver's performance. I thought he brought a lot to the table. And what I really like about Adam Driver is he really stepped into, this is Kylo Ren. This isn't Darth Vader 2.0. This is a man building his own legacy. And last with this story one is Ray. And in the first, I think she's a very polarizing character. I think some people just can't stand her. I think other people think that she's a really cool hero. But for the most part of this movie, Ray is to me a secondary character. And I mean, she's getting lost in the shuffle. Now, eventually, we will see, okay, her story's playing out. But to me, she's kind of left on the bench for a lot of this film. And I do hope to see more of her character in the future. And I do believe after watching this movie that she will play a pivotal role in the episodes ahead. Okay, we have another story going on, and that's the Rebel Resistance with Leia and Poe. And as you all know, last December we lost Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher's, I mean, she's to me, she's Star Wars. She's iconic. She's classy. She is a strong woman in every sense. We can also say that she's quite possibly the glue that holds this film and the entire franchise together, guys. What's going to happen to Leia after this movie? You cannot replace Leia. You cannot go full CGI. If she lives through this one, you cannot go full CGI the next film because that would just, to me, be an insult to Leia. So that's going to be a big, big problem that needs to be resolved in the next movie is how can Star Wars move past Leia when she is quite possibly the most important character in the entire series. A little bit about Poe as well. Once again, Poe is a complete hothead, and I believe when I watched The Force Awakens, Poe. I mean, Poe. I mean, that's Oscar Isaacs, man. I mean, that dude. I mean, that dude's straight up cool. And Poe once again is a hothead in this. But I was before ready to crown him the next Han Solo. But after this movie, he's just still too. I mean, all I know about this guy is he's got a really tight bond with BB-8, and I believe out of all the characters in the Star Wars universe now, he would definitely benefit from a solo movie, a standalone solo movie, if you get what I'm talking about, if you get what I'm trying to say. You know, Poe is still a almost a complete mystery to us. I know a lot of people are really fascinated about Poe's personal life, but to me, I just want to see where his character is going to go after this film. Okay, so the third story that's going on at the same time, all these stories are competing for our attention. That's why this runtime, guys, over 2.5 hours long. Make sure you don't drink too much while you're watching this movie. But the third story is Finn, which here's a toy of Finn, as you can see. I usually buy a toy for each of the Star Wars movies, but this movie I have yet to buy a toy because I told you I just wasn't excited about Star Wars. But once again, this is Finn going on some wild adventure like he did in the previous film, but this time he goes with Kelly Marie Tran's Rose. And guys, Rose is the breath of fresh light in the Star Wars cinematic universe. She steals every scene she's in. She has a relatable backstory, and if she survives this episode, she might be the hope we all need. She has a positive attitude, and just and her outlook on life is something that I admire, and I think we all could follow and admire her. She's really a an awesome new character to this franchise, And I do believe that her and Finn, I mean, if they both make it through this movie, will play key parts in the continuing saga. Um, probably the coolest thing about the Rose and the Finn, story three, is an introduction to a certain DJ played by no other, played by, one of my favorite actors, Benicio del Toro. And guys, I think he's my favorite character in the entire movie. I really do. He brings something almost like Boba Fett cool, man. Really, no lie. I loved him. I thought he was just the perfect casting choice. So, The Last Jedi, I mean, it's filled with just tons of action scenes. Right off the bat, we have uh, disorganized chaos, guys. I mean, some of the scenes, I think some of the scenes are really cool. I think you're like, whoa, this part's really, really cool. And then a couple times when we have like these really key moments in this film, you're gonna be like, well, this should have been better. Um, it really could have been better. You know how Luke, everything happens with Luke. That should have been that should have been something better. He his The way his story plays out. If you could get a redo, a mulligan, that's where I get the redo at, is Luke's story. Um, there's but one thing that is really really interesting about this Star Wars is there's a lot of like kind of like new planets, worlds, and these creatures we haven't seen before. And I don't really know the little name of this little animal that was on Luke's planet that I think Chewbacca fell in love with after he like fried a couple of them. He kind of reminded me of he kind of reminded me of Baby Groot, just in like his cuteness and cuddliness. And I just also liked it when Finn and Rose, they, they have this side adventure, and they're kind of like they're at this planet. It's reminding me of a very hedonistic Las Vegas. And we see like I said, like all these cool little animals, and I think definitely could sell a lot of toys. So I need to go look for me a new Star Wars toy, just to add. I mean, I'd love a DJ toy or a Rose toy to go with my other toys I have. But you know, this is Rain's first effort in directing a Star Wars movie, and I must say, you did all right, fella. But Gareth Edwards, Rogue One, which I really liked Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was one of the best movies last year that I've seen. You can see Donnie Yen in the corner, that I have, his toy. I really preferred Rogue One over The Last Jedi, but I do believe that there's still hope for the Star Wars franchise, and with them announcing that Rain will be directing a new trilogy, who knows? He could learn from his mistakes. This bloated runtime, these tonal issues, this really just like too much going on at one time, and just focus on making just the best movie he can possible. So that's about it for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I know it's from what I've heard, some people they're hating on this movie. Some people love this movie, and in my opinion, polarizing movies like this sometimes are the best ones to talk about. So I'm kind of like in the surprisingly, I'm kind of in the middle. This is about a 3.5 star film for me. But let me know what you guys think. I mean, do you love the direction Rain Johnson took, or are you disappointed in some of the things that you saw? You know, um, Please, if you want to, like the review, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, tell me how you feel about this review and how you feel about the Star Wars franchise in the future. Guys, this is Todd Gaines wishing you guys all just a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you later. Bye.